Every 10 years or so, a game comes out. One that brings a new level of immersion, fun, and innovation. A game that you're going to lose sleep for, miss planned events, and one that keeps you so hooked you skip eating. And Illuvium may just be that game for me. Hey everyone, I'm Caveman, and I've been following the Illuvium project since 2021, hopeful that this will be the project that I dedicate the next 5 years or more to. In this video, I'm going to break down the entire ecosystem. It is more than just a single experience. It is a collection of games all connected, feeding into each other, and merging players from across different genres. Feel free to check out the timestamps below to find the information that you are most interested in. Otherwise, I'm going to start with Illuvium Overworld, the creature collector RPG. Then I'm going to jump into the arena auto battler and all the modes that are associated with that. I'm going to cover Illuvium Zero, the city land management game, and I'm going to end by briefly explaining Illuvatars and Illuvium Beyond. So what is Illuvium? Well, it's a decentralized autonomous organization. Just kidding. I know that's a lot. It's a DAO. Now, this is just similar to a company, but it's set up in a way that is run by the community or the token holders, and it's on the blockchain. The Illuvium DAO has a mission to develop and publish video games based on the Illuvium universe. And I'm going to dive more into how the DAO works at the end of the video and how you can have a voice in developing new features and even entire games by becoming a part of the DAO. But let's break down the games first. Illuvium Overworld, let's start there, the main IP. It was developed in Unreal Engine and has some incredible graphics in VFX, truly on par with other AAA studios. You are a ranger exploring an unknown world, Illuvium. Your goal is to uncover the mysteries of this planet, chase down a rogue ranger, and capture the native creatures known as Illuvials. This game blends aspects from Pokemon and Pal World, but in its own unique way. It doesn't feel like a ripoff of another brand. The gameplay fuses third-person shooters with strategy auto-battler matches, creating a fresh game that is enjoyable by many different players. The maps are large and the crafting system is in-depth with plenty of equipment and weapons to make, leading to gameplay that can be well over 100 hours. There are both free-to-play and pay-to-play options. In free-to-play, you can fully immerse yourself in the game and get a solid understanding of what is offered. You can mine ores, crafting some of the most useful gear in the game, including the movement gear. That is probably the best movement system I have seen in a game. You truly fly around the regions and it just feels so good. You can also collect shards or Pokeballs in the Illuvium universe, which can be used to capture one of the 5 Tier 0 Illuvials. These are the free-to-play creatures, and each has 5 elements or affinities as they're known in the Illuvium ecosystem. There are other resources and regions to explore, but this gives you a taste of what this game mode can offer. If this is your first time hearing about it, I would highly suggest just trying it out. It's on the Epic Games Store, and the first time you do the full capture sequence of an Illuvial and then you receive that, you can see it's your NFT, you could list on the marketplace, it's real. I guarantee you're going to get hooked. It is just an incredible game. Please use our link in the description below. It helps us out in our channel. And even if you are already playing the game, if you click on that link, it'll associate your account with us, and that really helps us grow. Now, once you do realize how enjoyable this game is, and you see all those cool Tier 1 through 5 Illuvials, you're going to start drooling to jump into a paid region. Now, Illuvium does this in a unique way. You don't pay $70 up front or pay for a subscription model. You pay per run exploring the overworld. I think this is an incredible way to just try a game at a low cost and see if you enjoy it, and if you do, you can keep playing. There are 3 paid stages, each increasing drop rate for the higher tier Illuvials and loot, but also increasing in difficulty, creating a challenging and rewarding system. Players are first prompted to buy fuel, and there are 3 types, each having their own utility within the overworld. You will need Krypton to explore the higher regions. Currently, the equivalent prices in US dollar for a stage 1 run range roughly from 75 cents to $1.50. Stage 2 goes from $1.50 to $4.50, and stage 3 ranges from $4.50 to $10. You can find everything in a stage 1 that you would be able to find in a stage 3, just with less probability. So it is just a paid fade-fast system. Hyperion is the second fuel, and it is used to cure or craft usable shards. When you're using these, you're going to be presented a capture chance when you're at that screen trying to take that alluvial in, and it scales based on the tier of the alluvial and their stage, as well as the tier of the shard. Now, the tier 1 shards start at 7 cents, and then it increases to the tier 5 shard, which is currently going around $9. There are also master shards, and these have a 100% capture rate for any alluvial, but these are only crafted by shard dust. They'll be accumulated passively every time you do have a failed capture attempt, or you can choose to intentionally break down your shards into dust to quickly create that master shard. Note that curing a master shard also requires Hyperion, making these an incredibly valuable asset that ranges from $19 to $150 depending on how you're going to build them. The third fuel is Solon. This has a wide variety of use cases. All equipment crafting and upgrades like stage will use Solon, ranging from cents to tens of dollars. This fuel will also be used in training and upgrading your alluvials so you can enhance their base stats. These upgrades can range from cents to $50 plus based on their tier and stage. It scales with that. The last use case is a special scan function that allows you to check out a whole region, showing all the best loot right as you enter, and this basically doubles the travel cost based on the stage you're trying to enter. Now, you may be wondering, why are the prices changing so much? Like, I've never heard of a game where not only is it you pay individually by run, by this activity, and now it's scaling and changing by price. Why is that? And that's because everything is driven by the fuel, which is actually generated by players in another game, Illuvium Zero. And I'll get to that in a little bit later, but this really makes it a player-driven economy, which is one of the things I find really fascinating about how they're hooking together all of these games into one major IP. In this game, there are 10 asset classes, all of which are NFTs that you will own after collecting them, and they are minted on the blockchain. Many of these will be consumed or burned in crypto terms for various reasons, such as using a shard to capture an alluvial or fusing 3 lower stage alluvials into its higher evolution. This results in a stable economy that doesn't go hyperinflationary like some of the past crypto projects that have failed. And also, these assets will be used in other games, which leads us to Arena. This is the auto battler strategy game, perfect for players looking for something new, but similar to games like Teamfight Tactics and Dota Underlords. There are 5 modes currently for Arena, each designed for different players both in terms of competition and wallet sizes. Starting with the most casual, you have the Survival Arena. This is an incredible way to learn how this auto battler works and is one of the most interesting game modes in Illuvium. It's also very helpful at preparing you to enter in the higher stage regions for Overworld, so you can check this out for a variety of reasons. But what you're going to be doing is battling an onslaught of AI-generated waves with limited resources, and you have to try and defeat them as cost-effective as possible. It has a global leaderboard, so this can cause some serious addiction as you try to figure out each wave and the incredibly in-depth mechanics that surround the auto battler. This mode is just perfect for anyone who wants to play auto battlers but also doesn't want to play against another person in like PvP. It's just great to hone your skills at any skill level. Even at hundreds of hours, I'm still learning from these waves. The next mode is a recently showcased Gauntlet mode. This is the spiritual successor of Teamfight Tactics and Dota Underlords. They believe it is to be a better game overall with the enhanced graphics, VFX, and some additions of new mechanics that could make it a really unique and fresh look. It's a battle royale where players have to outlast each other and be the sole survivor. You'll be positioned against a new opponent's board randomly each round, and your team will battle against theirs automatically based on your positioning and your team composition. If you win, you're going to deal damage to them until they run out of HP. After each round, you're going to gain master points to buy and evolve your units, building up a massive team. Now, it's all coming from a random pool, and so this leads to a really enjoyable competitive experience for all skill levels that varies every time you play, and it is entirely free to play. Now, if you want a more refined competitive field, you're going to want to check out the Ascendant Arena. This is their unique mode, and it has the ranked PvP where players will clash it out in 1v1 with pre-made teams that you have designed and collected from Illuvials in the overworld, as well as some free rotation units. And you're going to design a fixed strategy and compositions to really maximize how these units play. The stats and levels of the Illuvials are all equalized, so level and randomness in the overworld doesn't impact you as much, providing that minimal RNG experience, properly testing who has that pure form of skill expression and who is the best ranger. Now, the last mode is Leviathan mode, and this is more of a sub-mode for the others, and in this one, the individual stats do matter for the Illuvials and the gear that you have, leading to just a whale playground where two Illuvials could be the same exact unit, but one has many levels and really good stats, leading to like a 2 to 5x the health, attack damage, and more, making it a great place to show off all the cool assets you found and then also showcase your skill. And there will be opportunities for players that maybe don't have a huge wallet to show up these massive whales just because they know how to play the game better than them. Now, maybe you're looking for something more casual and a mobile experience, and that is our Illuvium Zero, where you can manage a civilization on an alien planet, the city builder, land management kind of game. It also has a free-to-play option. The free-to-play experience is all-encompassing. You can literally play the entire game, but you will not have the ability to earn or mint any NFTs. You'll be able to find that link in the Play Store apps and on the website. But in this game, you're going to be starting from nothing. You crash landed here and have to build up your base, advancing through technology trees and collecting resources over time, including the 3 fuel resources that were needed in Overworld. Once you're large enough, you're going to be able to sell all of these on the open market, and you'll also be able to scan and research alluvial blueprints based on the Illuvials from the Overworld. These can then be used to craft cosmetic skins for the Ranger in-game. However, if you do find it enjoyable, you can then go purchase a plot of land or multiple plots where you will be able to generate that fuel, and you'll actually be able to mint those blueprint NFTs I just mentioned. All of the fuel across all land plots will receive a total of 5% of the total revenue generated by Illuvium. So if you build efficiently, your plot of land can then reel in a larger proportion of that yield. There are 4 tiers of land, each also scaling in production efficiency, storage capabilities, and just general output. Now, these do vary widely in price based on speculation of how successful Illuvium will be, ranging from a couple $100s to tens of thousands of dollars or more. The last game is Illuvium Beyond. This is for the profile picture collecting enthusiasts. You will want to try and build up a powerful collection of Illuvatars, these fun hand-drawn representations of Illuvials with creative accessories and expressions. These will be periodically dropped throughout the year in what's called a wave of discs or card packs that have these Illuvatars and accessories, and then you'll be sorting through all of the Illuvatars, placing them in an album, which then grants you points towards a global leaderboard. There are rewards associated with that leaderboard as well, and you can strategically enhance your Illuvatars by bonding them with accessories, which all range in a variety of boosts that they provide. Now, that really does turn this into a fun game where you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I slot these in my album the best? And if you have an accessory, maybe you can position that specific Illuvatar in multiple locations. And so it makes it an interesting experience. Many of the members of this community are also trying to push for a proper trading card game in the near future. And that brings us back to the Illuvium DAO. It is run by a community-elected council. They make the decision of what is the next game, whether that be an Illuvatar's trading card game or maybe an RTS or a new battle royale or anything. They get to make that decision, and inherently that means that you as an Illuvium token holder actually have that. And we don't get that kind of voice when you talk about big gaming studios or publishers that just really, they do what they want, and we just kind of get to sit there and wait till what comes out next. So that's what's really cool here. And this is where the ILV token, the governance token, takes place. This asset has 2 main functions. One is to grant you voting power for elections, and they also implement a quadratic formula so that whales who have tens of thousands of ILV don't have a crazy disproportionate voting power, and allows for better representation throughout the gaming community. The second utility is when you stake it, you're going to be able to earn revenue distribution. One of the key statements of the DAO is that 100% of the revenue is shared with the community. Based on the number of tokens that you own, you're going to be getting a share, and that's 95% of the total revenue. Remember, 5% is set aside for those landholders. The DAO treasury also makes up a good portion of this, and that's then staked, and then that revenue that they receive from those staked tokens directly funds Illuvium Labs, the actual studio that makes the games, as well as the council pay. Look, I know Illuvium is a complex project. If you have more questions, I would suggest joining the Illuvium Discord, the Polemos Discord. Both links are in the description below, or just comment on this video. I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. But that's all I have for today. If you like this video, please smash that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Caveman, logging off.